What is happening, people? Welcome back to Hay Arquero. Here in the podcast, episode 11. I am your host, Guillermo. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Vicente and Jordy. My bad.
You're good.
But we're going to be getting into some lot of Copa talk, a lot of Euro talk. But before we get into the real talk, I'm asking you guys a question. A simple question, the question of the day for this week is, what is your favorite sporting event that you've ever attended to?
You know what? I'm gonna give you one outside of soccer.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you Astros against the Red Sox, Game 6, ALCS 2021, to
Wow.
make it to the World Series.
Okay. I don't know you're a big Astros fan.
Yeah, I'm
Why
a big
is that?
Astros fan. Okay, so it's basically like the semifinal. It's
Yeah,
so-
I know it's a big game, but like, why was it so special?
because it's Game 6 when we were
Okay.
up 3-2 in the series. So like
Okay.
one win would have taken us to the World Series that year.
Okay.
So that was like the best like sporting event I've been to in terms of like importance.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
It's, like yeah. So
This game was not as important as that, but the players in it were really important. There was a thing where Venezuela, I think they had like some contract or something with Spain, and they would play the friendly every year or every 2 years. And after Spain won the World Cup, they went to Venezuela and they played the Venezuela. and they-
they went to play. They played Mexico in the Azteca as well after, no? And I think like Mexico gave them like a walk of honor.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
They also
I remember
played.
that,
They
yeah.
also played Argentina later on
Mhm.
in the Monumental. But yeah, they came to Venezuela, and I remember going there, and it was crazy, like watching Xavi, Iniesta. But that's not my favorite. That's not my favorite. It's very important, but it's not my favorite. The favorite is the Copa America, bro.
Oh.
The Copa America, because I've been living it not as a fan, but like inside. It's just like being up close to the players. Being in the stadium, like
Yeah.
just there, like when you see, I was telling Jordy before we started recording. I mean, the Guillermo before we started recording is like when Colombia started singing the anthem,
Yeah.
you could feel how the stadium was like shaking, and it almost felt like you feel so small when you look up and you see all the people. It's so intimidating.
I can only imagine when they scored that first goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing. It was madness, but I love that. I love the Copa America, and we'll still have it much more. How about you, Guillermo? What's your favorite sporting event?
Damn, bro. I've been to several games. A lot of really good games here in Houston. But I think I gotta say my favorite sporting event that will probably go down in my heart forever is back in 2016. Barcelona and Madrid came to Miami,
Okay.
and I ended up going to that game. And then that was the
Neymar's last game.
Neymar's last
Oh,
game.
no way.
Yeah,
Last game.
The
That was
famous,
Neymar's last
that
game.
famous game, yeah.
Yeah.
Famous game. He took the picture with Marcelo and the model.
Yeah.
Amanda
Yeah.
Cerny.
I don't know why I remember that. But yeah.
Nah, yeah, I was at that game, and I remember like the whole drama with Neymar was happening. I was following a bunch of
Sick
like
kid,
like Brazilian like journalists and Portuguese on
Yeah.
Twitter and stuff like that, just like constantly watching it. And then I remember in the game, everybody was chanting Messi, Messi, and I'm like, okay, that's dope and all, but that's just gonna make Neymar even more, bro.
Yeah.
It was like it was really amazing to watch. Brings
You-
tears to my
You
eyes.
made me like I can't believe I forgot. I went to watch El Clásico in Dallas recently. The one that
Oh,
Barcelona
yeah.
won 3-0.
Yeah.
So I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. I've seen them play, but not in El Clasico against Juve. They
Okay.
played a friendly
Oh.
in
Yeah.
Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, no, dude. Coming into this match, I was so scared that Barcelona was gonna get clapped by Madrid. It's like, dude, it's like my first time watching Barcelona because I have not watched Barcelona live in my life. It's gonna be against Real Madrid near home, and I was so scared. But just Dembele scores, then
Raul
Fermin.
got one as well, I think.
It was Dembele,
Or no, I don't know.
Fermin, and I think Ferran Torres. I don't remember who scored the third goal, but Ferran scored. I mean, Fermin scored a banger,
Nice.
and that was like when he introduced himself to the first team.
Ah,
So
yes.
my brother and I didn't even know who he was. It was crazy, but yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that match. That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know what are y'all's favorite sporting events. Doesn't have to do soccer. You know, Jordy gave us an Astros one. So just drop a comment, DM us, etc. But going to the Copa first, because we have a Mexico fan and a Venezuela fan.
Yes, sir.
And as we all know, they faced off against each other. So I'll let Vicente go first because they ended up winning the game. So I'll let you go first.
It was a great match at SoFi Stadium. You know, it was filled up. I don't know if it was a sellout. It probably was. I mean, it seemed like it
Wouldn't be
was.
surprised.
Mexico controls the first half. Venezuela doesn't really play the best soccer, but you get the result. You get a 1-0 win, and it's just it's so like as a Venezuelan watching this Copa America, like I feel like I'm going back to that 2011 Copa America where I was just a kid, but where we made it to the semifinals. Like it's gonna be hard to do that again, but I feel like I'm reliving that, and it's closer to home. Like I said, it's obviously in the U.S. But I mean, it was a roller coaster. I feel like you feel probably to feel the same way. Obviously, we finished at different points. You know, I finished very high, you finished very low. But it was a roller coaster. I did not like the fact that Bocha Batista wanted to park the bus with 20 minutes left, because Venezuela is bad at parking the bus. Like that's something that we always have issues with recently. Like we're better when we actually try to break the game and just like have situations in each half rather than parking the bus. But Venezuela did. We got the win. I mean, Romo, clutch goalkeeper.
Yeah, very
He
clutch.
saved that.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah, very, very, very impressed from him. Rondon again showing what he's the captain and he's the leader of the team. And obviously Aramburu. He's a kid from Caracas. That's where I'm from. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I have played against him as a younger like. When I was in Venezuela, I played against him, and he was a center back. He was like a short center back, and now he transitioned to a right back.
Yeah,
so it's
Was
pretty
he
crazy.
Like you?
Yeah, he was pretty good. He was always like tough. Seriously, I always had that like that phase of like
that professional.
yeah
phase.
professional phase,
Yeah.
and seeing him there, obviously he's at Real Sociedad. So just seeing him here, it's just like it. Like I said, it takes me back to that 2011, like my childhood. Like, oh my god, this is amazing! Like we're finally doing something, and this team is finally bringing the whole country together. We need this. I mean, I don't want to get into details like politics. This is not the place to talk about that. But Venezuela needed this, and that's enough for a happy talk. Let's go into the not so happy talk.
Well,
Guillermo.
It must be nice to reminisce about your 2010, 2011 team. I mean, back in the day, but in terms of this game, Mexico, they had most of the ball in the first half. They created some chances, not really clear chances. They couldn't take any clear chances either. And I feel like the first clear chance of the game was I don't know who from Venezuela did it, but somebody chucked the ball and then it was like a scrappy ball and then Rondon just got a shot up.
Yeah.
It's the post. I'm like, bro, like we've been attacking for like 25 minutes and we can't even
Santi had that one too.
Yeah, he had
Very similar.
first half.
he had a shot,
Yeah.
but he le pegó mal.
Yeah.
It bounced. There was a bad hit on the ball, bad contact, and unfortunately, Santi was not able to get his goal. Personally, I thought that Jimmy took him off too soon. I honestly wanted him to stay and for him to sub on Memo Martinez for a double striker formation. That would have been really beneficial, in those dying minutes when we're just trying to whip in a ball, but we can't find anybody in the box.
Yeah.
And going into that, like Uriel Antuna starting for La Selección Mexicana should not be happening. This guy's had the same problem for the last 6-7 years, however long we've had him in La Selección Mexicana. The lad cannot cross the ball. And then Chino had, as much as Chino did not have good opportunities, he kind of missed an open goal in a way, but he actually was able to set up the best crosses in the entirety for Mexico in the entire game. So I have to give somewhat credit to Chino because he was actually trying to whip in some balls, which that's like nobody in Mexico was trying to give a clear pass. Nobody in Mexico was trying to shoot. Everybody was just trying to play the 1-2, trying to squeeze into the defense with like 7-8 defenders of Venezuela in the box, and we're just trying to get in. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Bro. And going back to the last episode of the podcast, I said that if we would have had somebody like Chucky Lozano, somebody with a little more ego, somebody with experience in the attack that would set up these players, not be afraid to whip in balls, and not be afraid to take a shot, because that's what I saw this time around. Just a Mexico that was afraid to take risks and afraid to do anything. And in these kinds of CONMEBOL Copas, that you're not going to get anywhere with that.
Yeah, and you suffer when Venezuela couldn't make more than 5 passes in the first half. Like we were suffering. We couldn't control. Mexico was winning every second ball in the match. Like every single time someone cleared it, it will land in the Mexican player feet,
Yeah.
and they will obviously restart an attack. But Venezuela, like other teams in this Copa America that we'll get into later on in the episode, has proven that against Ecuador and against Mexico that you don't have to play the best football to get the 3 points if you have a solid goalkeeper and a solid center defense.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, these tournaments are so short that I'm down for that. If like maybe we're not the best like talent or skill or just tactically, but if we get the 3 points and we are able to advance, I'll take that every day.
Especially with the format, as you know, in quarters and semis, there is no extra time. It's
Yeah,
straight to
exactly.
extra.
Straight in.
So it could be beneficial for teams that park the bus and
Yeah.
have a cracked goalkeeper. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
But speaking of penalties, Guillermo, interesting decision from the Mexico national team to have Orbelin Pineda step up and take the pen when you have someone like Romo on the field at the time of the pen.
Yeah, there's been so many like videos come out saying that Jimmy, Mexico's coach, wanted Johan Vasquez to take it because Johan, he's got European experience. He's taken penalties for Mexico in the past. He's all right. And then Luis Romo himself, he had the ball for most of the time when the penalty was in the revision and they were complaining about that. Yeah, like he had the ball until like the very last second. He handed it over to Orbelin, which had just gotten subbed down, hadn't even played for like 10 minutes, and was clearly out of rhythm, hadn't had many touches with the ball, and decides to take a bad penalty. He hits it slow, kind of like bottom left, but not really in the corner. And then, all credit to Romo, he was able to guess where he was going. He has had a phenomenal game the entire game, so he was probably on fire, ends up saving the penalty, and that's why Venezuela ended up taking the 1-0 lead.
Two back-to-back MVPs for Rondon, against Ecuador and now against Mexico. A Venezuela side that is going to face Jamaica, already eliminated in Austin on Sunday. I'll be there with my dad. I can't wait to hear the anthem.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that. I haven't heard it in 8 years.
Yeah.
So it's going to hit in my heart, But going back to Mexico and Santi, when is it time to start discussing, or do you even discuss Santi's performances and does he need to stay in the bench and maybe allow other players to step in, or do you have to keep trusting him because he will eventually get a goal?
So I would say that Santi had a bad first game against Jamaica. Against Venezuela, especially the first half, he showed want. He showed desire that he wanted to get involved with the play.
A lot of runs too.
Yeah, a lot of runs. He was, receiving the ball a lot more, trying to give out these passes. Passing is not a strong suit, but he was trying to get these passes off, trying to make runs, getting into those spots. And like I said earlier, I felt like they would have they should have given him enough time. But with that being said, we just haven't been able to find good opportunities. I wouldn't necessarily blame that specifically on Santi, more on the team that's kind of placed around him. Yeah, you want a striker to be able to create for you and stuff like that. Our alternative is Memo Martinez, which credit to him, he was able to connect with the ball every time that they would whip in the ball. But in terms of Santi, I would say maybe, man, I don't know, because I would say
you give him 90 minutes against Ecuador.
It's because that's the thing. I would rather see something like a two-striker formation where Santi and Memo can play off of each other instead of having to wait in the middle for a cross.
Okay.
Because realistically, Santi has had his fair share of chances, but I wouldn't say there were any clear-cut chances where he could have scored a goal or two. So with that being said, I do think that I would like to see him play in the next game. I still think he is the starter. But I think he just needs to get his goal. I think if you could just play him more, maybe that two-strike formation I was talking about, and he gets his goal, he gets the confidence, and we can look at Santi as a leader in the attack, because that's really what Mexico needs. They're looking forward in the attack and not seeing anything up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that happens to strikers. You get in a bad streak, you can't score, and then all of a sudden you score one, and then the second comes in, the third one, and then you're all in the newspapers and magazines like you're the god.
And everybody exactly, bro. It just flips like
on
that.
and off.
Yeah,
Right.
tough position if you're a Mexico fan because I mean, even if you win this game against Ecuador, you're more than likely facing Argentina in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've seen talk, of people saying that maybe losing against Ecuador isn't the worst thing because they can finally get rid of Jimmy Lozano and they can start all over again.
Okay.
And I guess they sort of have a point, but I mean, you never know, right?
Yeah.
If you do win against Ecuador, maybe they can, thrive off of this momentum. They'll be playing at NRG. I don't know if they'll beat the Argentinian crowd, but it'll be close.
I'll tell you. Sorry for this, but if I'm an Argentina fan, I want to play Mexico instead of Ecuador.
I agree,
Yeah.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, like I said, but they probably want to. Like they probably think it's an easier match, an easier competition.
Yeah.
But what's not been so easy is Brazil's performances or Brazil's match against Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we talk about a strong Costa Rica and bad Brazil both? Like what's happening here? Because I watched the second half
I don't think
and
Costa
I was
Rica
just
had-
like, what's happening? Like, what am I watching?
Yeah, I mean, Costa Rica at no point were threatening to Brazil at all. So
That's the thing.
we can't say that they even, try. I guess at least with Venezuela, the way you guys parked it was a little bit different. You were still, somewhat effective through the counter and, at least trying to find your way up the field. But these guys, they were just
This was just
playing prime
survival.
burning.
Yeah,
This was just
yeah.
prime burning.
Yeah.
It was just long ball city. But I mean, when you have guys like Vinny, when you have guys like Rodrigo and Paqueta on this team, like you cannot be drawing to Costa Rica. You have to find a way to find the back of the net. And there's there's no excuse that despite the Costa Rica keeper was great. All credit to him. Made some great saves, but
I have a friend who was like, "Is that Keylor Navas?" I was like,
No,
maybe,
could be,
maybe,
yeah.
yeah, maybe." Like,
It may as well be.
Yeah.
I mean, Brazil just had a lot of chances to be able to score. They scored an offside goal, which is crazy to get disallowed, by the way, because the guy that was offside was not even involved in the play. He didn't get the ball. He didn't receive the ball. He didn't cross the ball. He was just there, and they ended up disallowing the goal. But
Neymar stressing.
yeah, they had Neymar
Neymar.
stressing.
Neymar was mad when Bini came off.
Oh, he was.
And then Bini, obviously, another performance where he's not as successful compared to what he does in Madrid. Obviously, different context, different teammates. But like you said, when you have all these players up top, you have to be better. Because if you're telling me, oh, Brazil is getting hurt every time someone attacks them, I understand. They're not going through their best generation in terms of defenders or fullbacks. But when you look at players up top, like, come on. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta be better with this. So I think it's something related more about coaching and tactical views rather than talent. Because it's Brazil. Brazil is always gonna have talent.
Yeah, I mean the Brazilian coach Dorbial Jr. He's doesn't have any national team experience. He's got he was in the Brazilian league and a lot of teams and stuff like that, but he just got appointed with Brazil earlier this year.
Yeah.
So I can't help but think that also contributes.
Yeah, and he showed a little bit of he showed why he's a little bit innocent in a recent comment where he was saying, I don't think any other national team is playing much better than us
That's
in the
crazy.
tournament. And I read that. I was like, sometimes you just gotta recognize that you're not always your best and not
Yeah.
try to put yourself up top all the
Yeah.
time.
No,
But-
definitely.
But looking at the different picture, completely different.
Someone who is at their
Yes,
best.
someone who is at their best under Bielsa, Marcelo Bielsa himself is
Yep.
taking this Uruguay team all the way up. I mean,
Easily the best team in the competition alongside Colombia so far.
8 goal scorers, only one against. I mean,
Cooking.
6
Absolutely.
points. You obviously played against Panama and Bolivia, which are the easy targets in your group. But I mean, you're
taking care of business.
Yes, more than taking care of business. You show where you're a candidate, and you're sending a strong message
Yeah.
to the Colombias, to the Brazil, and to the US, and obviously Argentina, because you're showing you're ready. They're gonna make rotations against the US, which we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I had this question do you guys prefer playing against Uruguay subs or Bolivia starters?
I'm still
Yeah.
taking Bolivia starters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Because that Panama Bolivia match, that we'll get into details about the important matches later on in the episode, but Panama Bolivia match is not going to be easy because a lot of teams. Oh, Bolivia is already eliminated, but that's exactly why it's not going to be easy because as a manager, you don't want to leave the tournament with 0 points because you're like your job is at risk. So you at least need a draw or something. You need to send a good image, so they're gonna come with their best.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for Uruguay, I mean, I'm on the bench. I'm still looking. Maybe we get a Suarez start against the U.S. Probably not still. I still don't think he starts, but, you have Bentancur as well on the bench.
On the bench.
And, I mean, these are guys that could start against the U.S. and still could definitely cause the U.S. trouble.
Yeah. I mean, the U.S. already in a lot of trouble, that they put themselves in yesterday's match.
Yeah.
Tim Weah, in the beginning of the match, after getting a disallowed goal, just straight up socks him in the back of the head.
Destroys a knowing there's VAR. He just absolutely sucks.
Loses is cool and just throws away the game. Just a player like Weah that is so good in bringing the ball up in attack, the transitions coming back, and then they had to play the rest of the game against Coco Carrasquilla's team with 10 men, which eventually Coca ended up getting a red card himself.
Also got a red himself.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks that's not a red though?
Nah, he straight up kicked, bro. He straight up kicked.
Come on.
No, guys, like
He just went it.
I get it. He kicks him in the back, and
He thought his leg was the ball, bro.
You're gonna take off that Dynamo jersey.
Yeah,
take
maybe it's a Dynamo.
He even knew that it was a red. Like
he didn't even argue with the ref.
When Pulisic came and tried to push him, he was like,
just walked away.
you're right. I'm sorry.
My fault.
Yeah, that was.
I had to. I guess
Yeah.
he didn't have to, but yeah.
No, he didn't have to. It was crazy. Not playing against Bolivia is gonna be tough for Coco. If Panama somehow is not able to qualify because you cannot get the win against Bolivia, it's gonna hurt on Coco. Like that's gonna be stuck in his head for a little while.
Bolivia has nothing to lose here, which it's very dangerous for Panama.
For Panama. But another team that's gonna be making rotations in their final match for the group stage is Argentina. And talking
not
about
the best, but enough.
No, enough. Not the best image, but I mean, Argentina has already shown that they can win tournaments. I mean, they won the Copa America and their World Cup, and I have a feeling that Argentina doesn't need to play the best football in order to reach the final. Like, I feel like if they have to play the toughest match in the final and not before, that's okay.
Yeah.
Where there are other teams in the tournament that I feel like if they don't play a tough opponent in quarterfinals or semifinals, they're not gonna win it. You know what I mean? And for example, I feel like if Colombia doesn't play Uruguay and Brazil and obviously doesn't beat them, they're not gonna win the final. Yeah. But whereas Argentina, I feel like they could not play the best football, still get the final, play against a Uruguay or Colombia or Brazil, beat them and be champions.
Start Messi, Julian, Di Maria. You're cooked.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you look at the rotations now, the first thing Scaloni says after beating Chile is we're gonna make rotations, and then 2 days later the reports are the front three are gonna be Di Maria, Lautaro Martinez, and Garnacho.
Yeah.
So
finally, we've only waited 2 games to see Garnacho.
Yeah. If these are our subs, or their subs, it's like, man, I want to be part of that team. You know what I mean? Like, I want to.
We're finally getting some Garnacho minutes in the Argentina national team. I will be looking forward to
and it's a great context, because you don't have the pressure of a tough game, whereas you're coming in like a 70 against like in like a quarterfinals or something like that. But you're probably gonna have 90 minutes or at least like 70, to play against a Peru that is obviously gonna try to do something, but because they're gonna try to do something, there's gonna be spaces. It's not like they're gonna park the bus all game.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna try to score a goal. So yeah. Like, we're recording this while Colombia is playing in Costa Rica. Luis Diaz has to score a PK. That means they have 6 points. That puts Brazil in a very, very tough position against the wall. Yeah. But we will let you. I will let you guys know. You guys will probably know as you're watching this. But another team that is in trouble, just like Brazil, is the U.S. The U.S. is in trouble. We already touched on Team
We touched on the team obviously a little bit, but their situation is very tough because they have to play Uruguay in the last game. Yeah. And I mean, Panama, I don't see them losing to Bolivia at all. Realistically, so we could potentially be seeing the U.S. and Mexico, the 2 top CONCACAF teams on paper, out in groups.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, we could potentially have Canada
Yeah,
You
maybe
would have thought,
Canada
representing the
you
CONCACAF.
representing CONCACAF instead of the US or Mexico, which is a big failure.
Yeah,
It's a huge failure.
it just makes Mexico and the U.S. look so bad, bro. Like
Yeah.
I've said this on the pod before, but like these U.S. fans, man, they were so obsessed with trying to catch up with Mexico that they beat us, and they're like, we're the best in the world, and then they're just getting humbled in this tournament. You know, before in the episode that we were talking about the group stages before everything started, we were like, U.S. should be passing here every single day of the week, but now it's looking very unlikely for them to be passing.
Yeah, you're kind of right about that mentality. I mean, obviously, like probably a decade ago, U.S. their goal was to beat Mexico, while Mexico's goal was to compete in South America. You know, they were trying to play more CONMEBOL teams, play more international tournaments, looking to get their name out there at the international, at the international stage. So, yeah, I mean, you're completely right about that in terms of, you know, the two federations having different mindsets.
A lot of injuries too, and you know, Matt Turner came off.
Matt Turner came off.
It's just sad for the U.S. if they don't qualify to the quarterfinals.
Super disappointing.
Because very disappointing, and we'll see what happens to Greg.
As well,
Yeah, another group that, you know, can be decided with the final matches is the Argentina group. Argentina's undisputed going to get the first unless, you know, Canada win and get some crazy ass goal differential. I don't think it's going to happen, but the match between Canada and Chile.
Hey, Canada or Chile?
Yeah,
man.
I have
Chile.
faith
on Chile.
You got Chile taking
Yeah,
out.
I think they showed me a better image against Argentina, even though they lost.
They
than
actually
Canada
created
against
a lot of
Peru.
opportunities on the counter. It's just, man, Alexis just cannot put it
it's just El Cuti Romero and Lisandro Martinez took care of this in the back. Like they were anticipating every ball. They were good. And Dibu Martinez showed why he's clutch. Like he's the man. Like, you know, I might be sitting in a chair for 90 minutes, but the one shot that you take on goal, I'm going to save it. And yeah, this is going to be a very decisive match between Canada and Chile. We'll see what happens. I choose Chile. You guys going with Canada?
I'm going with Canada personally.
I don't know, honestly. I feel like I would say Canada are kind of like, you know, they have the upper hand, but Chile, like, they have experience in these kinds of situations, these kinds of tournaments. That's why I would go with Chile, honestly.
Okay. In the same hand, or kind of like same situation, Mexico facing Ecuador in Group B.
Yeah.
You know where it's a win or zone for
even with a draw, Ecuador goes through.
Yeah.
So Mexico has to go out and win the game.
Yeah, Venezuela only needs to draw to advance as first and play in Dallas against the second from Group A. Moving into Group C, I mean,
we already talked about the U.S. that they have to win, but against Uruguay is really tough.
Those matches are really important. Because everything is pretty much open except for Uruguay.
Except for Uruguay.
Yeah, so and they won. They won the 9 points, just to be
send the message
and just, you know, increase goal differentials. Darwin is fighting for the Pichichi position.
Oh yeah,
which I already call that. I mean, he's gonna be the Pichichi of this tournament. He's gonna be the top goal scorer.
I had Messi.
Yeah,
thinking Argentina would get a few pens in there.
I don't know, maybe. I could. He's not gonna play at all against Peru.
Yeah.
So 90 minutes that are just gone.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he comes
But I had Venezuela as my dark horse.
Yes,
Let's go. Let's go.
But no, yeah. Those matches are gonna be interesting, and then finally, my favorite group. Group D.
Yeah.
Because everything is so open. I mean, we'll see what happens between Paraguay and Brazil later today. You guys will already know what the result is, but that's a very decisive match because Brazil, if there's a draw, Brazil will head into the third match against Colombia with only 2 points.
Yeah, and that's a horrible position to be in if you're in Brazil, man, like going against Colombia. So hopefully they can get a result tonight because they desperately need it.
Yeah, Costa Rica will pretty much be eliminated with this loss against Colombia, which it seems that they're gonna lose. I mean, Colombia is dominating all match in 36 minutes in. And then Brazil, Colombia, obviously Paraguay. Do you guys see Paraguay winning tonight?
I don't know, man. I mean,
it's not impossible.
They showed a great 20 minutes in Houston. The last 30 minutes of the match, they show composure.
They got one back.
They show desire. They show that they can attack, that they score goals. They even got a goal. And Ciso is a baller. I mean, no one can deny. Matias Rojas is a baller too.
Matias Rojas.
But
Brazil,
I mean, Brazil
should be winning.
And I feel like at some point, the players in Brazil are going to realize that how much pressure they have. And they're going to be like, okay, I have to take care of business myself. Like, maybe we're not the best
Fine,
team,
I'll do it
but
myself.
maybe
Yeah.
I'll just get the ball and dribble everyone to score.
Yeah, I mean they're just subbing in Endrick towards the end of the game for them to have him win the game. It's kind of tough and a lot of pressure on the guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So those are the matches, the important matches to as we head into the
Decide
final
the
match
bracket.
day of the Copa America, and as we settle into the brackets, we'll obviously let you guys know how those go and analyze each quarterfinal game and so on. We'll have two in Texas, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. One in Dallas, one in here in Houston.
And we'll be there. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there. Vicente's gonna go
Yeah,
there.
I'm definitely going to the one here in Houston. I'm still considering going to the one in Dallas. We'll see what happens.
Dallas is a semifinal, right?
No, Dallas is another
Oh, it's
quarterfinal.
another quarterfinal.
Yeah, and it will
That
be
would
most
be-
likely Venezuela because it's 2A against
Yes.
1B.
And that would be either Chile or
Yeah, Chile or Canada, and I think it's July 4th is Argentina.
Yeah.
July 5th is
July 5th is
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
So I might head up there.
You're gonna
This
have
is-
a busy weekend.
Yeah, no, really, because there's so much going on behind
Yeah.
cameras. I'll tell you guys, but I might have to go. With, Houston, Austin, Dallas, Houston,
Hey.
Austin. Yeah,
Let's go.
we'll see. It's
Summer
worth it.
footy.
Yeah,
We're
super-
here.
Summer.
Yeah, we're here for it.
Footy.
And talking about summer of footy, let's go into Euro Cups.
Yeah.
We have the groups already being settled.
Yeah, we got the full bracket. And
And there is a lot of goods and bads in this bracket.
a lot of highs and lows. as
Yeah,
well.
highs and lows. A lot of people say that they're only gonna watch one side of the bracket and the other one is irrelevant, but hey, it's part of the tournament, and some teams benefit from being bad. Do you guys agree with me?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we all know who benefit from being bad.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, going on the bracket order, the first matchup that we got here is Spain, Georgia. Georgia, first of all, had to win against Portugal. Had to win
Had
against
to win.
Portugal. Ends up beating Portugal 2-0.
What a performance by Quara.
Yeah, that's
Unreal.
a definite
You got
storyline.
Ronaldo's jersey. You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The man of the match. I saw that picture.
Yeah.
Man of the match trophy.
Ends up
You
qualifying.
guys saw the guy who tried to jump and get a picture with Ronaldo and
I
I
saw
fell.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently he's in really bad condition. Apparently,
No way.
yeah. So hopefully you get better, man. I would have done the same, honestly. Yeah,
Getting in there, but I mean, Georgia qualifying in that one of the third positions. It's massive for them, but going up against Spain in the first round is really tough because we've talked about it before. Spain is looking pretty good in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Euro Cup so far.
Do you guys think it's best in the tournament, or are you still picking England? I mean, not England. Obviously not England. Germany, just because.
I would
I
say
think Spain has played the tougher opponents for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
you could
no
say that,
disrespect
like
to
Italy
the
and
teams in
Croatia.
Germany's group, but yeah, it's definitely between those two for sure. But Spain have not even conceded, so I mean,
yeah,
their defense has been unreal.
they're showing good composure, and I think this Spain team can go far. I thought this Spain team could do big things as the group stage develop.
Yeah.
But now when I look at the bracket, I mean,
This
the
is-
game below them. If they win, they will face either Germany or Denmark.
Yeah, that's really hard in itself.
Facing the other favorite in the quarterfinal
Yeah.
is crazy. From what we've seen in the group stage, the two overall favorites are obviously Spain and Germany. So those two facing off in the quarterfinal, it's insane. But yeah, Germany taking on Denmark. I don't think there's much debate here. I mean, Denmark getting through with 3 draws. I'm sorry, you're
Yeah.
not beating Germany. You're gonna go out in the round of 16, and yeah, Germany will move on to more than likely face Spain.
Yeah, they also have the home field advantage, and that's going to carry them throughout the tournament. These tournaments are built off of like momentum, and then just having these players to having the want and stuff like that. And I think if Germany can just be scoring and be clobbering over their opponents, the toughest thing is going to be going up against Spain.
Yeah.
A team so defensive versus a team that has the potential to attack the way they do. It's going to be a really interesting. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, I would say.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this Euro Cup has been interesting. We have seen some upsets.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see
Possible.
them. I mean, it's more than possible. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's-
definitely.
like, there's
Definitely
gonna be
one of these guys
upsets
will
in
go
here.
out.
And in the other matchup, we got Portugal, Slovenia, which Portugal.
Slovenia also coming out from that group. The most boring group. People are saying in Euro history.
Yeah, but I mean, Portugal, with a Ronaldo that hasn't been as good as other years, but they took care of business.
They did.
With a Rafa Leao who's like on and off, just like Rafa Leao always is. And a strong back line. I feel like Portugal has benefited from a strong lineup, a back line, even though they lost against Georgia. Like they did show in the big matches against Turkey that they have a strong lineup and they can attack. Like they're constantly attacking because their formation itself kind of like pushes them to attack constantly.
Yeah. How you were saying, you they really just want to see all their stars going forward. That's really what it looks like.
Yeah.
But a team that has a bunch of stars and low-key has been kind of struggling to score. France, man. France.
Facing Belgium in the last game from that side of the bracket. I can't believe Belgium is here at this point, and I'm glad they're gonna face France. But at the same time, both teams have done so bad that I don't know how what's gonna happen in this game.
Yeah, it's France. I mean, the likes of Mbappe, Dembele, and just so much talent in the attack, and in the whole team. Like they gotta be putting away, so many chances in these past couple games against like the Netherlands. They had so many chances and just couldn't capitalize. But
It's been so disappointing, especially with the likes of Ousmane Dembele, Barcola on the wings. You would expect them to just, I don't know, do so much better with the amount of talent that they have.
Griezmann hasn't been as
Griezmann
impactful as other years with the national team. He usually has been the leader, and maybe the fact that Didier Deschamps decided to give the armband to. You guys think that's a possibility? The fact that Didier Deschamps decided to give the armband to Mbappe and not Griezmann. You think that maybe that's a little bit in his head?
I don't think so.
it also has to do with like the position and the role that he's kind of playing. He's kind of playing more of like a midfielder, kind of like.
But he has done that before in the past. Like in the
Yeah.
2022 World Cup, I remember him
Yeah.
being like all over the field, recovering balls in the back and then moving forward and being like assisting those up top. But
Yeah.
just this year, France in general hasn't been the same, and
Yeah.
I guess that has taken a toll on him. But
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. I mean, hey, maybe Lukaku finally shows up. Maybe.
what are the odds of that, man?
But Belgium qualifying with 4 points in their group,
Yeah.
and in the same group, Romania with 4 points, Slovakia with 4 points, and Ukraine with 4 points. So a four-way
Crazy.
tie in Group E.
Which left Ukraine out.
Because of goal difference.
Yeah, which I have them going through.
Yeah.
Ended up getting last in that group. Very, very unlucky is what I would say.
Yeah, it's just devastating to go home when you have the exact same points at the first one. Not even the second, the first team.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's just devastating.
It's
But
the-
Romania will play Netherlands, which will be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Because for these
That's a lot
teams,
closer than
as we talk about the lower or the right side of the bracket, however you want to see it, the other side of the bracket, there are a lot of teams that have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So why not give it 100% in every game?
Yeah.
And why not just be like prepare and just go forward and see what happens because you have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I would like to see more from Xavi Simons on this Netherlands team.
100%.
I want to see him take that leader role and really lead the attack and just, I don't know, just put his foot on the ground on this Netherlands team.
And then just come back to Barca, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man. I love that.
Another good team that's been kind of a surprise, Austria and Turkey, both of them, honestly. It's gonna be a really good matchup in my opinion because you got two teams that haven't really been looked at or highlighted but have been performing in the group stages and in the Euro so far, and it's gonna be a really interesting matchup between these two sides.
Yeah, Turkey, a crazy game, getting it done in the 90th minute to get out of that group.
Yeah.
Insane scenes. Yeah, I mean, finishing second in that group, they'll face Austria. I don't know. This is a tough one. This is a tough one to predict, for sure. I mean, on paper, very close.
Austria.
I might have to side with Turkey here, though. I think I would take Turkey from the two to advance and probably play the Netherlands in the next round.
Austria, getting first place in the group with France, Netherlands, and Poland. So they definitely a force to be reckoned with, but do not underestimate Turkey. But a nation that has been, I mean, should I say underwhelming? Because what were we kind of expecting? I mean, I was looking kind of expecting.
Well, I was not. I had Sir Harry Kane winning MVP, and he is not winning MVP at all so far.
But I mean, it's just this England squad, man. Like, it is so hard to watch, man. Like you look at this squad and you're like talent. Jude, Saka,
Yeah.
Foden, Kane, like Declan, like those are just a few names. And then you watch the game and then they go 1-0 up and then they decide to just like park the bus and scared of Southgate, man. Like obviously I'm not British. I can't say all the whole too much, but in my opinion, they should have fired him after the
Yeah.
Euro Cup back in the day. Like
It's
in
it's
Wembley.
been tough to see this England squad struggle so much because of how much talent they have, and it just feels like it's being wasted on a coach that doesn't really know what he's doing and wants to make everyone happy. He wants to make everyone happy, and he's missing on the point that you gotta have some kind of plan, and you gotta push on that plan as much as you can. And you may win or lose, but you gotta try to do something. But it almost feels like he doesn't know what he
He
wants to
doesn't
do.
know. He has no idea.
Like like, do you want to play possession? Do you want to counter attack? Like, you don't really know much, and it's just being wasted on players like you said. Foden. I can't believe they have struggled so much, and they're gonna play against Slovakia, who, like I said, they have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. And then if you're England, you hope Luke Shaw can play. Hopefully he's fit enough for them for this game. If not, they may be in trouble. This is gonna sound crazy, but I've not seen anything from Jude. And if I'm Gareth, I'm benching Jude and I'm starting Foden in his
In
position.
his position,
100%.
yeah,
If I'm
Wow.
Gareth Southgate, I think that's what I'm doing for this game. Because I have not seen anything.
it was tough. It is.
And it probably won't happen because it's Jude, and I understand that, right?
Yeah.
I get it, but these are the decisions that you need to make if you're Gareth Southgate, and you have so much talent on this England squad.
But you gotta have a little bit of empathy and sympathy on Jude. He's so young.
Yeah.
And they're putting so much pressure on his back. I mean, I feel like other players should have stepped up a little bit more.
Yeah, obviously
this
from
is
Harry
good.
Kane, we expect so
Yeah.
much more. From Saka, we expect so much more. Declan Rice. So yeah, I agree with you in that regard.
But hey, this could be the match that just changes everything.
Yeah.
You get a really good result and you show dominance, and you can send a message to the other teams like, hey, we woke up. Like, it's our time. It's win or go home. We can win. We have shown that we can win games. We don't play at our best. We can obviously win games where we can like cook everyone.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they still got first place. They still
Exactly.
got what they wanted.
They took care of business.
They took care
Yeah.
of business.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how they did it, but they did it.
Exactly.
But to your point, they're gonna have to wake up because in the next round it's gonna be the winner of Switzerland and Italy.
Wow. Best match out of all this?
I would
The
say
most
so.
even matchup.
Yeah,
I would say so. Yeah.
Either Germany and Denmark or Italy and Switzerland. Really good match, man. Really good match.
That's gonna be a great one.
What's gonna happen in here?
I think your boy Barella's gonna step up.
You
I
think?
do think your boy Barella's gonna have a very good match.
He's gonna have to.
He will need to for sure.
Yeah, because
for
Switzerland.
the-
I mean, Switzerland proved that they can. They can get. The wings. They can win games, and they can. They're really good. They're a really good squad. They get second place. In a group with Germany and Hungary, but and Scotland. But I mean, Italy.
I just want to see more from them, man. I feel especially like in the attack and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like there's so many opportunities where they get to the final third and they kind of like lose it. They kind of don't like just forget the final step of the play, and they can't really capitalize off of that. So hopefully they can against Switzerland, and get a result against them.
That's a motivator that if you win, you play it against England most likely
Yeah.
again. So if I'm an Italian player, I want to play
Yeah,
England.
you
Yeah.
want to play.
Run it again.
Yeah,
The
because
odds.
if you win, you already eliminated one of the favorites, and you are in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So
For sure. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, since the group stages have concluded, I wanted to ask you guys, who were you guys most impressed with? And in your eyes, who do you think was the best player throughout the group stages?
The best player.
I think for me personally, I'm gonna go with Musiala. I think out of all the players that I watched, Musiala was the most impressive to me personally.
one of the young players in this tournament, quote unquote young players at this point in this tournament, stepping up for their nation. Something we really wanted to see this Euros.
I will go with Nico Williams.
Nico
I
Williams
really
is
like what
good.
Nico Williams did for Spain, where a lot of people were looking at more into Lamin's eyes rather than him.
Yeah.
But he has proved that he can be even better.
Yeah.
He's older than Lamin, so he has more experience. I already won a tournament with Athletic Bilbao, but yeah, I feel like that has impressed me the most.
Yeah, he's
And-
definitely helping Lamine share the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and taking some pressure off his back.
Yeah.
And the fact that Spain can attack through like both wings with players that are so similar yet different
Yeah.
at the way they attack, I mean, they're benefiting so much. And be careful. Keep an eye on Spain.
On Spain.
Yeah, keep an eye on Spain.
When I was thinking this question, I literally thought of Musiala and Nico Williams.
Oh.
I'm not even gonna lie,
Yeah.
but I was like, I'm gonna come up with a third just in case, which I actually needed, and it's N'Golo Kante.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving a shout out to N'Golo Kante. France, we talked a
No,
little bit about.
For sure, that's a great shot. I mean,
Yeah.
2 men of the matches in the 3 group games that they had,
Yeah,
he's probably been their best player easily so far.
yeah, 100%. We talked about France, though.
Yeah, and he went under the radar. I mean,
Yeah.
not a lot of people spoke about him, especially leaving to a league that isn't talked about a lot, but he still showed that he has a lot left.
Exactly.
Who is letting y'all know? Who is letting y'all down? Like, but let's avoid the obvious players like Bellingham, like the big stars, but players that you thought they were gonna do a lot more, but are not doing as good. They're like kind of like off
It's
the
not
radar.
like a big star.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I could obviously tell you.
Yeah,
Harry
to
Kane
me,
straight
to
off the
me
bat.
is Van Dijk. He's a big star.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I know what you mean.
that's
a
great
lot of
shot.
people, I think Van Dijk. It's just Netherlands is not showing great composure, and that I mean, if you're such a leader like Van Dijk, you gotta be better.
Yeah.
for sure.
Especially in that goal against I think it was against Austria in the just Netherlands couldn't defend. There were players that were literally walking back instead of running, and it just shows that there is a lack of leadership in this team,
Yeah.
and that's a little bit because of Van Dijk.
Yeah, for me, a player that's not talked about, but obviously he came off winning the Champions League with Madrid. Camavinga. I think Camavinga. I've not been really impressed with him so far. I think both the Madrid guys, like I've not been too impressed with like him and Tchouaméni.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably say like them, like with France. I don't know. I just feel like they're lacking, and Conte is pulling like most of the weight here in the midfield.
Yeah, it's crazy that the guy who's playing at Saudi Arabia has
He's
to.
doing the best.
Yeah.
That's what put him as a best player. But in terms of like underwhelming, man, because I did have one, but you said no big shots.
Yeah, no.
No big shots, but I'm gonna still say it, and I'll say a non-big shot.
Okay.
Mbappe's been really underwhelming. I'm not
Okay.
gonna
Oh
lie.
yeah.
He has not finished a lot of
Yeah.
1-on-1s.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't know if it's the mask or what, which seems
Nah, it's
I
not
would,
the mask.
that thing
The
looks
curse
so
of the mask.
uncomfortable. That thing looks so uncomfortable. Like I don't care what you say. Oh, it's for protection. It looks so uncomfortable. Like there's no way as a footballer you can play 90 minutes with that thing on.
Yeah, but another player that I would say has been kind of underwhelming. I mean, I would say like because I want to say somebody from the Belgium squad, but I at the same time I don't really want to point fingers because it's not one player's fault.
Mhm.
Kind of like collective, the Belgian team as a whole. Lukaku, De Bruyne, etc. Not really, quote unquote, getting old, but people
People don't really talk about Lukaku that much, but still, every time
Gotta expect-
Lukaku puts on the Belgium shirt, he cannot seem to put the ball in the back of the net, despite
How
the
about,
amount of opportunities that he gets per game is crazy.
how about Luka Modric?
I was
Could that be
thinking
like
about
That's
a-
a tough shot.
yeah, because
Yeah,
he's
that
old,
is
he's
a
on the
top
way
shot.
out.
But what do you guys think of him? Like, do
I
you
don't
guys
think we were
do you guys think
expecting too much.
his performances make sense because of his age and because of the lack of minutes that he had at Madrid, or is it more like he not only had to do more, but he's just like not showing,
Mm,
or he's showing that years have
yeah,
gone by.
Yeah.
And, like you can definitely tell he's aged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a reason why Toni Kroos has been the starter and Modric has gotten subbed in
Yeah,
for Madrid this past season.
yeah.
And I wouldn't say he's been underwhelming because, I mean, you can't really expect him to
Yeah.
put the nation on his back again. You know what I mean? So that's going to do it for the Euros. So now we're going to move on to our favorite segment in the
Final
show.
section of the day that does it for us with the Euros, and this is a good one. This is a good one.
Okay.
We're obviously
Last time we got cooked.
Yeah, last time. Okay,
We got seasoned.
I
He
pre-
did get cooked.
I prepared a different player last time, and I made a mistake because I had final doubts of whether I had already done that player. It was I think it was Camavinga, and I asked you guys, hey, have I done Camavinga? Because I didn't want to do the same as other episode.
Yeah.
Because 11 episodes in, you start forgetting things. But this one is pretty good. It's a player that we're familiar with. Kind of recent, but not really. So guess a footballer. Here we go.
Okay.
the footballer that you guys are looking for has played with Dalot.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
recent
Portuguese.
player. I mean, recent player. I could think of a few United players that have popped off recently or have been like talked about recently. I'm gonna go with Kobe Mino.
Kobe Manu.
That's a good one, but it's not Kobe mine.
Kobe
But
Mino.
maybe in the future it will be because
Okay.
you guys think what does he have 10, 15 years left in career if he takes care of business?
Kobe Manu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
could
yeah.
totally have 10 years
Yeah.
left of
Yeah.
a good career. But yeah, the good. He's not Kobe Mino,
No,
but
Kobe Manu.
this guy has played with Dalot and Bonaventura.
Bonaventura. Okay. Okay.
Bonaventura.
So I'm trying to think, like maybe like Italian, maybe like
We can always get his career,
Yeah.
and that may be the toughest one we would get, probably like the toughest player. I
Yeah.
don't see us getting like another player like that.
we can get his career.
Okay,
I'm
you
down.
want it? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If you give me a second, I will go ahead and pop this up. Okay, his career. A lot of clubs. I know.
Yeah.
So Atalanta,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Pergio
Mhm.
on loan, Padova on loan, AC Milan, and Fiorentina.
AC Milan and Fiorentina. AC Milan. When was he at AC Milan?
Where was Garnacho?
AC Milan from
Actually, I think
2000
he's always been at United.
from
No.
2014 to 2020.
For Milan.
Yeah,
Oh.
and Fiorentina from 2020 to 2020.
Leao? Or like
Nah, because was Lau in Milan at that time?
He's still in Milan.
yeah, but
Oh,
They could totally be.
yeah, it could be.
I'm trying to think of other options. I mean, we could
Why do I feel like Garnacho played with both?
Garnacho?
Yeah, but I don't know where Garnacho was before.
Oh, I think he just came straight from the academy.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he's from the
Oh,
academy.
okay.
Yeah,
Nah, then no. Yeah, I mean, but Leo,
Leao's a good shot.
We'll throw him out.
Leao is a good shot, but it's not the
Not-
baller that you
not
guys
yet.
are looking for.
okay.
The baller that you guys are looking for has played with Dalot, Bonaventura, and Sijic,
CH.
CH, okay, so Ajax.
Yeah.
who's now in Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken, or is he in Ajax?
No, he's in Saudi.
He's in Saudi.
So Ajax, Chelsea are the main two.
Italian.
Jorginho? No.
But then the
Dalot,
Dalot.
yeah.
Yeah. There was an Italian in United recently, like in these last 4 years now. I'm trying to think if no? I feel like there was. I just can't remember.
Italians in Man United. That's a good question. Italians in Man United.
I feel like there was, but
Why do I feel
I
like
digress.
Del Piero or not Del Piero? No, Del Piero didn't play.
Nah, I don't think so, bro. I don't think
so
about
you know
Italians.
Portuguese,
Portuguese, Italian.
Okay, so it was Dalot,
Dalot, Bonaventura,
Bonaventura,
Sijic.
and Siege. So
Can't believe they're
Someone-
struggling.
So they had to have definitely passed through Ajax or Chelsea. Dalot,
They already wasted the career, only in the second player.
yeah.
Portugal.
And 11th episode, I think they're 7-3. TV 7-4. Let us know in the comments if
Can you
you
give
guys
me
already
Bonaventura's career again?
again. Okay, yeah, of course I can do that. Atalanta.
Mhm.
2 clubs for loan.
Yeah.
They didn't play there together. AC Milan and Fiorentina. So the big clubs that you want in your head is Atalanta, AC Milan, and Fiorentina.
Yeah. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
what was that the Italian guy's name in Chelsea? His name was it Emerson?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's what you're talking about, but nah.
I'm just thinking of the Dalot link.
It's Jorginho, who was in
Jor-
Chelsea. For
Yeah, Jorginho is there, but the Dalot link. I mean,
Yeah.
Jorginho.
I'll give you
Ziyech.
one more minute to do this third guess. or you can skip against get the fourth player.
Yeah.
Can't believe they're
Ziyech,
struggling
though.
in this one.
Ziyech.
I cannot believe they're struggling in this one. I swear to God.
This guy, bro.
The level has dropped. I'll say that. You guys were getting in the first or second,
Bro.
or not first, but second or third.
Yeah, like
And what's happening? I thought it was just gonna kept getting better and better.
Bro, throwing us off, bro.
No, no. I swear to God, no.
I guess
Well, they think go down in the description. You
Do
look
you
at our
have a guess?
socials.
because
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You know, we're trying to create more content in there. So yeah.
Milan and then Atalanta. And then the Dalo and then Ziyech. Dalo, Diego Dalo.
Okay, minute is up. Just either skip or throw a player.
Okay. I'll go with Emerson.
Emerson?
Yeah.
It is not Emerson.
Okay.
Okay, so this footballer has played with Dalot, Bonaventura, Ziyech, and Eriksen.
Eriksen. Christian Eriksen?
Yes, Christian.
Okay. Christian
It
Eriksen.
was so I was so happy to see Eriksen score.
Oh
In
yeah.
the, you know, after everything that happened in the last Euro Cup.
Spurs,
For-
United.
Diego Dalo.
I cannot believe they're
Ziyech.
struggling in this one.
Bro.
This is crazy, guys. I'm sure they already have it. Put
So
it in the
you
comments.
said Ziyech, Eriksen, Dalot, and Bonaventura.
Yes, sir.
Bonaventura.
I cannot believe they're struggling in this one.
Maybe Rasmus. Højlund.
Rasmus.
No,
Nah.
maybe.
Rasmus.
Where did they sign him for? Where from?
I don't know.
I think was it like a club from Norway, or was it like?
Probably.
Why do I feel like it was like a
like
Red
one of
Bull
the
club?
one
It
of
was
the
like-
RBs, right?
Yeah, it was the RB, but the
Salzburg?
one in Norway.
Yeah. That's
Or
true.
no, it's not in Norway. I think it's like Austria or something like that.
I think it's like RB. Austria, yeah. Damn.
Damn, dude, why am I struggling so hard? with this?
Yeah, no, I can't believe they're not getting this one. I'm sure they already have it because
Yeah,
this
they're
is not
probably
hard
pissed.
enough.
Probably like,
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Another minute until you guys either skip or just give me a player.
Okay.
And this time I'm gonna put the pressure on Jordy because you already have two guesses. Jordy now gets the
Okay.
two guesses, and then for the final one, you guys call that together.
Spurs.
Obviously, you can keep thinking.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
find it, you can
I'm
shout it out, but
thinking. It's like
after the minute, it's on you.
Portuguese, man. United, Portuguese. Dalo. Where was Dalo before United? That's what I'm going blank on. Was it like Benfica or something? I can't even remember.
Don't know where he was before.
Portuguese, Italian, Morocco,
Yeah.
Danish.
yeah, Denmark.
Spurs. I mean, I can't.
You could do Inter as well.
Because now I'm just thinking about Spurs players. now I'm just thinking about Spurs players.
Spurs. Oh, okay, for Eriksen.
Yeah. I mean, but Inter's not in there because he went to. Bonaventura went to AC. AC Milan.
Yeah, but maybe like an Italian. No, but then that wouldn't. Then how would you include?
Remember Fiorentina, Milan, and Atalanta. I'm going in back reverse, you know, because he played for Atalanta first,
Yeah.
and then Atalanta, Milan, and Fiorentina is the most recent.
You already guessed Liga, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have a guess. Wait. Is it?
What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking. I said the Dalo. Oh, actually no. Yes. What link am I missing? I'm thinking of Arambat or what's his name?
Amrabat.
Amrabat.
Okay. Is that your last guess?
I'm just
That's
thinking.
a good guess.
What's the link that you're trying to look for?
Who are you confused about?
Like Bonaventura, cause like Ziyech and then like Dalot, and then, Eriksen.
Eriksen is still Man United.
Yeah.
No, Amrabat was
Yeah,
at. was-
Amrabat. Yeah.
It is Amrabat.
Oh,
dude.
Amrabat was at.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
I
there was.
don't know why I didn't think about it.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
what got me.
he's
The
not.
thing is, Ziyech, I never thought about Ziyech's nationality.
Yeah.
I always just thought about his club.
I was thinking
Final,
Italians.
final player
Yeah.
Hakimi. Hakimi.
Oh, okay.
You guys would have won at
Okay.
some point eventually.
I think the way you did the order is what messed us up.
Yeah, I mean the order was kind of like messed
me
up.
up.
That's what
But-
probably took us that long.
But yeah, I can't believe you guys were taking so long for this one because
Yeah.
it's a player that it was in the radar for everyone, and then all of a sudden it just went like after he
Yeah.
landed on United, you know,
Yeah,
because
after
he had such a good 2022 World Cup.
Yeah.
he got brought in to be like a right back.
Yeah.
Sad, like,
Yeah, I feel like he's played everywhere, kind of like Casemiro.
Yeah, but I was just thinking about players. I was thinking about Spurs players, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I got something
Yeah.
outside the box a little bit.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, I'm not bad. Like he played in the Italian league, yes.
Yeah.
United, okay, yes.
yeah, it was that last recall of the teams kind of I feel like helped you.
Yeah.
Because I said like Fiorentina,
I was like, okay,
highlight
Fiorentina, yeah, Fiorentina. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
Fiorentina.
But yeah, that is it for us. That's episode 11. A little bit of Copa America, a little bit of Euro Cup.
Yeah.
A lot of soccer. We love that. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of these two tournaments itself. Which one has been better? I prefer Copa America but I'm biased.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
also
I'm
biased.
biased.
Like,
We're
if
biased.
you ask any of
Biased.
us, we're gonna tell you
We're
Copa.
biased.
Yeah.
Although Euro is like that's class, technical.
Yeah, and
ability.
then Copa is just
Yeah.
it's
Copa
trying to
is
kill
just
each other
Copa.
out there.
Yeah, Copa is
I would say
the beauty of
if
Copa.
if I'll take something from the Euro Cup to put it on the Copa America, will be the
Tactics.
grass.
Oh
And
yeah,
the
we
grass.
should do it 100%.
Facilities, grass,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, facilities. We
Well,
have
no,
some
stadiums,
cool facilities.
stadiums are
Yeah.
world class. It's just the pitch.
Yeah, the
itself
pitch.
is
Yeah,
so good.
it's just
But the atmosphere from Copa, I would bring to the Euros.
Yeah.
100%.
in certain locations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Euros has got an atmosphere in itself.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah, but I mean the grass. I mean, when everyone is complaining about it, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
These things are not. It's not like Xavi when he loses.
Yeah.
No. This is like if everyone's complaining about it, then there's a parent. There's a common denominator
Yeah.
here.
yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, so go ahead and make sure to like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Follow us, Hay Arquero, on all the social medias, and follow me, GLR Broadcasting, on all social medias as well.
Yeah, on my personal socials, you can follow me at Jordy Reyes34 on Twitter, Jordy Reyes9 on Instagram. Still trying to get rid of the numbers.
Vicente.gar.m on Instagram, BGM091102 on Twitter, and before we wrap things up, Houston Dynamo, we have not forgotten about you. We have not forgotten about you, okay?
Facts.
We'll be back. We'll back there and we'll be creating content to you guys soon. Just let us enjoy and take a break from MLS and the
Yeah.
madness.
Yeah, fully locked in on the Copa content. We're trying to bring you guys as much Copa and Euro content as of right now. But don't worry, Dynamo, we've not forgotten about you guys. We'll be back.
See you guys.
So yeah, we'll see you
Peace.
guys next week. Peace.